I was discussing feminism with my teen daughter and her friend, and they brought up Andrew Tate. I have heard his name, but I don't know much about him. And they asked me if I can do a psychiatric perspective on Andrew Tate. So I looked him up. He is a very interesting personality. I just looked at one of his podcasts, and I'm going to give you my view as a psychiatrist on things he is saying. And in the later part of the video, I want to discuss sexism and implication of sexism on men and women and on society in general. I'm going to comment on his appearance first. Look at his mannerism, his posture, his clothing, his shoes, the way he talks with authority. It all exudes confidence. He has total command of the room. Look at other members of the podcast. You can see a striking difference between them and him. All these qualities are extremely crucial to influence people.
So I say bad things about women. Women are very, very intelligent in certain key areas, and one of the things they are most intelligent at or best at is reading their own status and understanding what they can and can't get away with.
What he's doing here is he is lifting them up only to bring them down. I have seen him do that several times when he talks about women. Either he lifts them up and then bring them down. In this way, he is creating self-doubt in women about themselves and about their self-worth and self-esteem.
Hey, look at me in the mirror. Can I be replaced? Yes. Can he be replaced? Not easily. Fuck, I gotta take this deal.
Unfortunately, most of us, if not all, are very replaceable, and we can be replaced very quickly.
All the people who say I'm misogynistic and my view on relationships are wrong, etc., etc. I say, look, I have beautiful women who are in love with me, and we're all happy and smiling every day. I get to fuck whatever I want. I have a very positive relationship with females. My life's good.
Here you can see he has little or no regard for other person's happiness. Yes, his life is great because he has the women he likes and he has multiple of them. But the women's life is not great. It's very unlikely, if not impossible, that a woman who truly loves him is happy with him being multiple women. Yes, a woman will be okay with it if she doesn't love him or if she's using him for money, power, fame, or any other reason, or if she has men on the side as well.
How does one morally
It's
cheat?
just about understanding and instilling a mental frame inside of the female that makes her understand that it's really not that big a deal. That, coupled with your status and the fact that you're hard to replace, will make you be able to get away with it.
But a loyal woman in love with him or with any other man can be happy if that man has multiple women on the side. That's a fact, and his opinions are not reality-based. He is thinking more about him and not about others. So he does not have regard for his partner's happiness here. Just because he thinks he is happy, he feels the other person is happy as well.
If a woman gets with a man and his frame is correct, that woman over a long enough period of time has the same political views, likes the same music, likes the same movies, has the same friends as him, watches the same things on YouTube, the same Netflix shows. If you see a woman who loves that man, doesn't she do everything the man does?
Here again, he is imposing his own thoughts on the other person and kind of controlling the other person's mind. This is called mind control.
I'm new to being big on the internet. I really don't know what Kylie Jenner looks like.
Here you can see he is not being truthful. Who doesn't know about Kylie Jenner? And he is a media personality, so how he doesn't know about her? And he is also bringing Kylie Jenner down by saying that, and then later on he is bringing her up by saying that she is rare and that there's only one Kylie Jenner on earth. So he definitely knows about her. So right here he's contradicting himself, which shows that he's not truthful.
A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been more places, been fucked and dumped more times, more arguments, more heartbreak, more bullshit, more mess for me to clean up.
Here he is saying that women who are very innocent, who are very young, like 18 or 19-year-olds, and he's comparing them with 25 and 26-year-olds, which are still very young. He's not even mentioning women in their 30s and 40s, and he is in his mid-30s. So he is making very young women, which are 18 or 19, and they are innocent, they haven't seen anything, they don't know much, and they are highly attractive. He's saying that those type of women are women of high value. A lot of people will disagree with him, including a lot of men. It may be his type. It doesn't make them high value women. And one reason he prefers those kind of women are because they are very innocent, naive, they haven't been exposed to much, and they are more vulnerable to exploitation. A woman who is smart, who has experience in this world, is less likely to be exploited and is less vulnerable compared to those young, naive women. Also, young females have very fragile self-esteem, and they are susceptible to be exploited by others, especially older men.
If I run through 10 chicks, I get to know I've ruined 10 wives, guaranteed 10 divorces, guaranteed, because whoever she marries, she will not be happy with, because she will dream of me for the rest of her fucking human existence, guaranteed.
He has shown grandiosity multiple times during this podcast, and this is one of them. When he is saying that he can guarantee that all his exes will divorce their husbands because they will be missing him. I'm going to give definition of grandiosity now. The quality of being impressive and imposing in appearance or style, especially pretentiously so. Pompous, superiority, or pretentiousness is the other one. So why, when he's saying these kind of negative, sexist remarks, he is so popular and he has such a huge following? The reason is that some of his statements do really make sense. He's very smart and intelligent. He presents himself very well, and he is completely fearless. At least that's how he presents himself as. So people usually tend to get influenced by someone like him. In the middle of the podcast, he said things that's exactly the reason he has such huge following.
I say what I think. These are the things I truly believe. Some people agree with me, some people don't agree with me, and that's absolutely and utterly fine. You're right. I am doing very, very well, despite the fact I'm saying things I'm not supposed to say.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. I am doing very, very well, but I think the reason that is because people know I'm authentic. People know I actually mean them. I can explain them in a way that makes them hard to disagree with.
It is very true. We don't know if he's authentic or not, but at least he is presenting in a way that he seems authentic. It seems like he is speaking his mind. He's not two-faced. Whatever he believes in, he has very strong beliefs in those things, and he is speaking his mind. He's speaking his truth. And these things, these qualities are highly attractive. Also, he himself said that he has exploited men to get money from them by this webcam business, and he has exploited him very smartly. So a person who has no regards for others and has open about how he has exploiting others should not be trusted. How do you know he is not exploiting you right now? He's also putting men down for having a different taste in women or for having a different type. For instance, a lot of men like intelligent women. A lot of men like women who are very independent and have things going on for them. He did not mention intelligence nowhere in the podcast for a higher value of women. In addition, some of his statements are very true and they do make sense. So that makes him more credible in the eyes of those who want to believe him. I'm going to list positive and negative qualities that I have noticed in him while watching this podcast. Positive qualities are: he has a very charming and charismatic personality. He speaks with an authority. He's very confident. He owns the room. He is successful. He is very smart and is making some very good points. He is fearless, and it seems like he's speaking his mind, which make him look authentic. That's why he has such a huge following. I want to add his positive qualities make him quite dangerous. when we find out about his negative qualities that I'm going to mention now. His negative qualities that I have noticed are: he's a master manipulator, he exploits others, grandiosity, he contradicts himself, which shows that he is not truthful. He has little or no regard for other people's feelings. He doesn't show any remorse.
I don't give a shit, cancel me. I will stand up right here and say I am sexist.
And last but not the least, he is sexist. We all know what sexism is, but I googled the definition just to be clear. And according to Google, it's discrimination based on sex, especially discrimination against women. Behaviors, conditions, or attitudes that foster stereotypes of social roles based on sex. Now I'm going to describe how sexism is bad for women, society in general, and men as well. Men are exploited to believe that sexism is helping them by giving them male privilege, but it is hurting them as well. And I'm going to describe how. Let's start with first how it is affecting women. There's a study published in American Psychological Association on November 26, 2018, showed that sexist men underestimate their power in romantic relationships. Concern for losing power to women can lead to more aggression. According to Human Rights Channel, sexism is harmful. It produces feelings of worthlessness, self-censorship, changes in behavior, and poor health. Sexism lies at the root of gender inequality. It affects women and girls disproportionately. Also, in Human Rights Channel, individual acts of sexism may seem benign, but they create a climate of intimidation, fear, and insecurity. This leads to acceptance of violence, mostly against women and girls. Now let's see how it negatively impacts men. According to an article published in Washington Post, psychologists looking at 10 years of data from nearly 20,000 men found that those who value having power over women and endorse playboy behavior and other traditional notions of masculinity are more likely to suffer from psychological problems and less likely to seek out help. They further noted that cultural norms that are not good for one half of the society isn't better for the other half as well. An article published in New Scientist reported that you might think patriarchy is at least beneficial to men. Not so, says the political scientist Cynthia Enloy of Clark University in Worcester, Massachusetts. Patriarchy isn't good for anybody. It fools those who are privileged into believing that they have a good life. According to World Health Organization, Western men are 3 to 4 times more likely to kill themselves. A recent study of suicide prevention in Ireland illustrates this. Men who are deemed to be high risk of suicide reported that seeking help could be construed as a threat to masculinity, including a loss of power, control, and autonomy. I'm going to now discuss how sexism affects economy in a negative way. According to Medical News Today, cumulative impact of sexism on the worldwide economy is huge. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, gender inequality is associated with lower national incomes, lower levels of productivity, lower levels of education, and artificially reduced talent pool. Gender equality would result in a better quality of life for women and other marginalized genders, as well as economic gains that benefit everyone. I hope all the information I have provided helps you understand that sexism is not only bad for women, it has negative impact on men and society in general. And if you like this video, I recommend you watch my video on narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopaths. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.